Hello, hello. We are early today, so apologies if you're seeing this later because you weren't here. I do feel a bit bad. I also tried to get all my my junk out the shop, but it was too late. There we go. It's just a coat, it's just a coat, very tiny. That's not a pig blanket down there. Um, so yes, as far as I know, we've just got Andreas here. So hello, yay. Um, I was not going to do one. And then yesterday, I meant to post yesterday and I forgot. I wasn't going to do the show. But I'm meeting up with Ian from Fenris and I forgot that other people's early are different to my early. So when he said he'd come first thing, I thought I won't be able to do the show. We'll skip it. Um, and then realised his early is like 10 o'clock. So he's on his way. So it'll probably end when there's an Ian appear. The other reason it is early and that there is an Ian is because we're doing a garden centre heist. Although not a heist because I'm going to pay for the things. I swear, so I will. Um, so this is the sad excuse for the show being early and short is the garden centre opens at 10:30 and it's a hot day and it's going to be chaos there. They're going to be queuing up, they're going to be frothing. I know what I want. I want a day of gardening. I know the things. Shh, it's not shopping sounds more boring. I know what I want. I'm going to go in there, go get the things, get out of there before the massive, massive queues that will be in the garden centre. um, he's built me some planters out of pallets, and he's built me a new one, and there's no plants in there, so I have to go get some plants. So he's bringing the planter over, because I'm gone plant crazy outdoors now. The plant hobby has gone from indoors to outdoors, so got to fill it. And yesterday I got way too distracted, and chopped down an entire tree. So I have all this debris and it needs to go somewhere, like the bottom of a planter. So all the leaves and branches and stuff you put right at the bottom as filler, and then that's somewhere for me to actually put it. So it's so that's the reason. I do have a bit to talk about, so I will try and skim through it. The door will go at some point, and then I'll try. I'm actually sat on the floor, so there may be a topwards down, Ian. But yeah, we're trying to get stuff done before the hordes hit the garden centre. We'll be there at the gate like the old men at the pub, um, and before it gets really hot. Because I was actually there yesterday. I was at the garden centre yesterday. I might have to go in a moustache or something today. But it was too hot. And when I went there, I just went, I can't make a decision. It's too hot. So hence going back today. But I did make some mental decisions on what I'm going to get. But anyway, Bad Squidder Games. That's the company. Um, Although Bad Squidder Games has let me go to the garden centre because it means that I can go and have a little treat. So Expo, the last show was Monday, wasn't it? After Expo, I've still got a bit of a gravelly voice, but not too bad. Um, but last year I was dead for about a month after Expo. Oh no, I found another card. Oh, I haven't put her up in the office. I knew there was another one. Um, but this year I didn't want to take because I've had so much time off anyway with various ills and ails and all that. I kind of my brain was really charged up after Expo, but my body was dead. So I've been in all week apart from Monday, but I've kind of taken it a bit easy. So kind of got in a bit later, and I've been catching up with the orders and having a massive tidy. And mostly catching up with the emails. There might be one or two that I haven't replied to, but I've kind of cracked through that. After it's normally I keep all of the trade show gear in my garage, so all the racks and cabinets and stuff. But it's just another bit when I'm kind of loading to go to a show to have to go there to get there, and the racks only really fit in a van. They can fit in Ian's car, but like two racks at a time, and it's just so awkward. So I want to keep it all in the office, and it helps with packing because I can visually see it all. So I've part of the pack down is getting the cabinets, the boxes of all the sort of bits and bobs, like the tablecloths, the clips, all of that lot. integrated into the office, which is already getting quite packed. But I'm really impressed that I managed to do it and the office looks tidier. So I don't know how I managed that. Um, so I've kind of just crammed them, and I ended up doing it basically an entire office refit without buying new furniture, basically just jiggling it all around a bit. And you kind of do that now and again with spaces, don't you? Because when you put things in a place and then you realize how you use them might be a bit different, so you move it to accommodate that. Um, so tell us, hey, people have arrived, yay! I just realised I haven't plugged this in. Whoa. Um, Where was I? So yeah, the office this week, the office, I've just been absolutely knackering myself, um, moving bits about, trying to figure out and trying to just make it nice again because it's been a month where all the racks have been up and it's just kind of been like ducking and diving to get around. And I wanted to keep I posted on Twitter the wall at the back of the office. I got loads of cool posters. And initially all I could find to put the racks was there. And I was like, oh, that's my nice little spot that's not racking, but I've managed to find a place for that, find a place for all the cabinets, um, and then go through all of the boxes. So it's all like it's fairly tidy, to be fair, in my office because I am quite ruthless with things. So if there's a box of something that's useless, it'll either be repurposed or gone. So yeah, it's just been going through all that this week, catching up with the orders, getting a few bits prepped. The Some of the community minis have gone to the painter. What else has gone out? We've been sorting the Kickstarter, so I should be getting wave one of the castings from the Kickstarter next week. Which means that I can start shipping next week. So in my tidying on Friday, I was starting to get the bench all ready. So next week it's going to be picking and packing the items that aren't the Kickstarter. So I think it's coming about Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's check. Um, but we're going to get all the other things packed. So, all the extras to make sure they're all done and make sure there's nothing that we don't have. Because oh yeah, that's the next task is the mega stock check. So because of Salute and then Expo, the stock levels have been a bit wibbly. And partly before some of the stock I didn't keep at the higher level that I tend to, just because it's a lot of money and it's a little bit of a fine art of stock control when the range is so big as well. But then we'll get a retailer that'll just want 20 of something, and then it wipes that like something that maybe is selling so slow that I'm like, yeah, 20's fine, I'll keep that in. Yeah, someone goes, I'll have the 20. I'm like, oh, quick, cast some more. So the stock system on the website is always live, but because of the shows, it's all gone a bit wibbly because I don't do a stock checker. I normally do a stock check after the show and update it. I don't stock them out to the racks and then back in. And it's usually okay because it's usually like the odd thing, but the replacements come pretty quick. Because there's been two big shows, there's a few bits we're out of, so I need to do a mega manual stock check. I put a big order in anyway. I've done a visual order where I just go along the racks and go, that one, that one, that one. But now the next bit is to um, do the full stock check, and see if there's anything that I've missed that could do with an order. So keep them all up, and the resins as well. And I'm getting quite pleased at how I've got the office quite tight now, that there's not just random boxes of trash or whatever, because you're paying for the space, so there's no point renting an area for a box of trash to live effectively. James been said a lot, but love the painting phase appearance. Yes. Um, Hang on, my throat is just about to die. So that's this week has been ace because I've had this golden combo of the painting phase, right, has had more positive impact than any interview I've ever done, which includes, and I think people were joking, it includes when I was on Woman's Hour, which is a national radio show, and had a obviously so many people heard that. But I've got more immediate feedback because sometimes, you don't get that, so you'll do an appearance, so you're like, so on that, it's like people are going, oh, have your orders soared? I'm like, no, they haven't. I guess because the nature of that, people hear it and go, oh, she's really interesting, but they're not necessarily the people that would buy. Whereas the painting phase has had not just so I've had sales, as in people buying and referencing painting phase, and there be just being more in general. Social media followers, social media praise, people sharing the work, and it's been more than any I've done, and that was after like a day. It was already wild, so I'm really chuffed that I did that, especially in that setup to Expo as well, where I was partly like, should I do it? Oh, here's Ian. He doesn't know that I'm doing a show either, so he's going to think I'm just talking to myself. So we'll get a surprise Ian. But yeah, the combo of the painting phase interview and the expo, and then the expo sort of residuals, as in people then going through all the leaflets and stuff that they picked up. Here we go. Come in. You're live on Bad Squiddo Telly. Because I snuck in a cheeky Sunday morning coffee, knowing you'd be late.
You said you weren't doing it.
Yeah. And then I thought, hang on, he's not going to be here for a while, so I might as well do it. So they've been pre-warned that there's a surprise Ian.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can pop your head in there. Hey.
Hello.
They've been told about the garden centre rush, and that's why we're getting out of here. So their weekly viewing is ruined because
of your gardening
because
habits.
of my gardening habits. Yeah. Well, you know, there you could put the kettle on.
I could.
Look at that. We got so what else before I get out of here? Getting that garden centre queue. Hey, I'll tell him that he's in the kitchen. So he's got the washing machines on, which is the loudest thing in the world. So yeah, it's just been a wicked week of that combo of people finding the company and really liking it, and all those really nice comments. And there's been a few small bits as well. Hello. We've got comments. We've got Daniel says, Ian, handsome lad, excellent sculptor man.
I don't know about the sculpture bit, but thank you very much.
And Ralph says, hi, Ian.
Hi, Ralph.
There you go. I'll wrap it up.
It's fine. Take as long as you need. I'm going in the garden.
Surprise later. You can look at my chopping.
Yes, I've already seen it.
Did some very impressive chopping yesterday. So yeah, it's just been a really good week. We've had a few sort of crappy comments, but I was really prepared for it, so it was awesome. Because there's been a few on that painting phase comments where they've clearly not watched the show. One guy in there, I think, thinks that I'm a man that's white knighting myself, and I've kind of just left him to it. So basically, like, Annie won't be impressed by you. I'm like, but I am, Annie. But that was good that it didn't bother me. It's like, yes, a growth point. This is awesome. So it's been a really good week. I'm glad I didn't take the week off, and that I've been sort of half chilling, half working, and getting stuff done, and still making plans, doing sort of easier work bits. The fact that I've been gardening this weekend and roping Ian into the gardening shenanigans. I'll get to see the planter soon. I should get him to bring it in, shouldn't I? And then we can see it. Sorry, Peter. I'm doing a quick early show today, but it's better than no show because there was going to be none originally. I also wanted to thank David Edgington, who sent me 1 million books on North American women. So I'll quickly go through the stack. He said he had a few, and I said, yeah, send them over. Now I kind of need to do something with them because there's a lot. And it's what's excellent is that of all the books I've got, I don't have any of these ones. So there is all sorts of info in here that I'm excited to get through, and I'm really chuffed with that. So I don't know if he watches this, but thank you very much. I think he does. What we got? I think they were his wife's, but she's finished researching. I think that was it. Because it's something I definitely want to do at some point. Yeah. All of these. So that's a nice big chunk. Oh, it was, yes, he does watch this because he said that serves you right for showing a an empty bookcase in the background. There we go. So ace. So thanks for that. That was really, really cool. That made my day. I was like, what's this parcel? Oh yeah, the books. So yeah, the plan for next week is going to be Kickstarter fulfillment. How cool's that? I've got they've all got, obviously, I have like a theme for the Kickstarter packaging. So all the special packaging and filler is all laid out on the bench, ready to go. So all I'm waiting for is the minis, which will be next week. Got all the minis now. We got the last ones from Sculptor, so I think they've already been cast, productioned, and in this box. And then I can start getting some of those out, which is ace. Even in my tidy, I cleared some of the My Last Sunrise section. I gave them the pegs. The new things have all got pegs ready. So there. I've even made space for new racks in there, as in put up new racks. So somehow I made the space bigger whilst fitting more in. So that's cool. So sorry about it being a shortie, but the garden centre is a ruthless dark place. So I do have to go and fight them. Also, mostly just because it's getting hot. After this coffee, from the sounds of it. There's Karen. Karen's had a silly little summer haircut as well. So you can't quite tell from over there, but I basically made another Karen out of her hair. So yeah, going to be a bit of a sort of chores and hang day today. We're going to chill out in my garden, and I'm really chuffed with how my garden's getting. And I think we both deserve a day of not really doing anything after the garden centre. So thanks for coming along. Apologies if you see this later because you've just turned in at 10 like you would, and I've already done it. Cheers, Jez. You mentioned the paint phase earlier, that it was just really ace. It was really good to go on, and the not fallout, because that's a negative term, the effects afterwards have been awesome and really, really strong. So I'm really chuffed about that. So again, thanks to Peachy & Co for having me on, because it's given me a really good boost. John says, what state is Andy in after City's win? Oh yeah, he did tell me I had to mention this, that it's a blue moon. Manchester City won the Champions League. I heard the whooping yesterday, not from Andy himself, but from the commentator. Did you hear the news? Look at this. Manchester City won the Champions League, and we're a Manchester City household, so it was very exciting.
This is me doing my Alan Partridge.
Yeah. Andy was hanging from the rafters. He was running up and down the stairs doing zoomies.
Getting sick in the ashtray. Making love to the wallpaper.
On that bombshell. Hey, just as you keep getting mentioned on loads of stuff, Rule of Carnage most recently. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to just that's part of it, getting the face out there and getting other people to go, hey, she's not bad actually. And then people go, okay, she's not that bad. Although she does make people make her a coffee. So, woo, thanks, Ian.
Welcome.
Right, I'll see you all in the week. We're going to go and slurp this and go get some shrubs.